In this video, I'm giving you the 3 things that make the difference between 1000 views and 1 million views. And why you should care about what I have to say is basically because I've been an editor for the past 10 years and also a full-time YouTuber for the past 3 years with more than 6 channels monetized. And I'm gonna start with the common mistakes. Basically, every editor thinks that editing is actually the king, of course, but it's not really the case. When they do, they also use the wrong editing style, meaning that if you want to edit like Mr. Beast on a finance channel, most likely people will not enjoy that. Then the next thing is that they do the packaging after you edit a video. You have no idea about the thumbnail prior to editing the hook, and you spend more time on editing the video than on the script plus ideation. And that's not really a problem because we have fixes for this. Now, first you have to understand the editing style fitted for your niche. If you do like more mature content, of course, the editing style needs to be more mature, not really optimized for Mr. Beast audience. Now the next thing is to do ideation first and the packaging before actually making the full edit on the video. And the last thing is you should spend 80% of your time actually on ideation and on writing the hook plus making the packaging. So those are the fixes, and now I'm gonna start with the first and most important thing, which is called ideation. Now ideation is basically just the process of getting ideas for your videos. Now the first step in my ideation process is basically coming up with outliers or finding outliers and then twisting them to fit my own niche. Now, what is really an outlier is basically a video that performs above average on a particular channel, at least like 3 times to 5 times or even higher. And if you use tools like vidIQ or 1 of 10, you will see under your videos this thing like 26x or 11x or whatever. Basically this means that the video got like 11 times more views on compared to like the average amount the channel gets. This is like the first step. You find these videos and then you have to analyze what worked about them. It could be the topic, it could also be like the format or even the thumbnail. But for this step, normally I just want to select the title format, and this is how it usually goes. Now this title is called New Meta Andromeda Update is killing Facebook ads ROAS, do this as soon as possible. Now this is not really that much optimized, but somehow it worked. Now what you want to do next is understand the title and then create the title format after that. So basically this would be like new entity, update is a negative action to the X entity and to X entity thing or whatever. And in the parentheses you do this ASAP. So how we would twist this outlier would be the following. For example, for an editing channel. Now, new Premiere Pro update is destroying your edits. Do this as soon as possible. Basically, it's taking the same title format and applying it to your own niche or to your own topic that people actually care about when they search for your channel or see your channel. And now we're gonna move forward. Basically, like I said, an outlier is compiled of a format and a topic. The format, like I said, is the new entity update is and so on. And the topic would be for this particular outlier, 44K in 18 days using school.com, no sales calls or paid ads. The topic itself would be making money with school. So if you want to make like a viral video, first you have to identify topics that actually people care about. If no one really cares about a topic on, I don't know, maybe AI usage for video creation or whatever, no one would click on that video even if you have the most optimized like format and thumbnail or whatever. So this would be like one of the most important things I would say, is to make sure your topic actually has demand for it. If no one has demand for a topic, it doesn't really matter how you package it or whatever you do with it. Now, how you gonna do all of these things is either you create a bucket channel or you buy subscriptions to 1 of 10 or other ideation software that you can find on Google, whatever. But the easiest way and the best way for myself and also for other people that I work with is to create a bucket channel. And what does a bucket channel actually mean? Basically, on YouTube, you can create new channels, and then on that channel, you're just trying to imitate the viewer persona that you're trying to target in the first place. So as you can see here, for a lot of my channel, basically all of my channels that I have, I created some bucket. Now, how does this bucket actually work? I will just show you in a second. Here is basically my Kimi A9 bucket, where I try to emulate the viewer persona of the people that would watch this channel of mine. It's basically a channel on Valorant, shooters, and other stuff like this. So what I try to do with this bucket is to see other videos or topics that my ideal persona would be interested in watching. So for example, on this channel, I tried World of Warcraft as a complete beginner. Now, how I would twist this would be like I tried Valorant as a complete beginner if, let's say, it would be a new channel. Or if you want to do like editing, I tried editing in Premiere Pro and in parentheses as a complete beginner. That's basically a new format that you found from a totally different niche, or actually from within your niche, and then you twist it with another topic in mind. Now, you can do this to find topics, and you also can do this to find formats, like I said before. Like you can see, I tested 1-star restaurants. This is mostly a format that has been used across all of the niche. I tested 1-star, whatever. That's really the format. You can apply this again, like I said, to your own niche. I tested 1-star, and then you replace restaurants with whatever you want. I don't really care. Now, for your niche, again, this is really good because you will also be recommended things that your core audience is really interested in about. So for example, for my Valorant audience, now I can see how to play aggressive without dying. So people in my audience are really interested in being super aggressive in their gameplay and not really dying. So that's like the core topic. And after that, I can twist this core topic however I want with different formats or different video formats. For example, I can make the video 2 minutes, I can make the title or the thumbnail different. But now I know that my audience is really interested in this. Cool. Now, so that you have this bucket, like I said before, you will find these outliers on your feed. For example, what $10 get you in real versus fake Call of Duty games, I would suppose. Now, this was actually stolen from the format that I created myself on this channel, because I was the first one that did this format, is what $10 get you in every popular shooter. So they took my format, what $10 get you in X games, and they twisted it to fit their own niche, which was what $10 get you in real versus fake Call of Duty, which, I don't know, maybe they did the research and it worked. Basically, the core topic of the video was value in games, greediness of publishers, and comparison of games. That's usually what people wanted to see when they click on this video. So they just emulated and replicated that to their own niche. Now, what you want to do with this whole process is do ideation for 100 ideas. You don't just do this for like 2 or 3 ideas and, okay, I will just do this. I think we're good. I'm going to try this, because you're just, I don't know, and you're not putting enough effort into making sure the idea is actually worth doing in the first place, so you're wasting a lot of time. And as you're already an editor, editing most likely takes the most time out of the day. How I would go about ideation is I would think about finding 60 external ideas, which is just basically see what worked for others and twist their videos or make them better. Basically, the same story as here. If you want to twist them, you would twist them to fit your own niche, or if you want to make them better, you would say what $20 get you in real life versus fake Call of Duty, or what $100 get you. Basically, it's a staircase, you're going up. This is external, you get ideas from other people. Now you also do internal. If you have other videos that perform well in the past, you want to redo them or make them better again. So here is what I did on another one of my channels, how Miyamoto Musashi solved overthinking, genius strategy. And then I twisted the format, how X people figured out a problem, basically. And I twisted from how overthinking to anxiety. That was basically it. One made 1 million almost, the other made like 300k. Same format, you don't have to overcomplicate anything. The last thing, to get the 100 ideas, to do AI prompting, which is basically feeding data into AI and telling him everything that he needs to know about your channel and your audience to get like you to give you like new ideas in return. When it comes to this is usually what I like to do with my AI. I give my AI, and also here is really important, you have to test out different AIs. I don't really like ChatGPT at all, it's really terrible. So I prefer doing this in Grok or in Cloud. Those are like 10 times much better than ChatGPT when it comes to being creative. Whatever. Now, first I gave them a full persona profile. As you can see here, something generic, but you can go really in depth with them. For other channels have like this amount of customer persona. Then you feed AI title formats that work well for outlier videos. So for example, these would be like some formats that I selected for my self-improvement channel. Become so, or I don't know, kill that. For example, I had a viral video that was called Kill That... how to kill your current self, the Phoenix method. So that was like a format. Now, the X enemies off. Here I made a viral video called the 4 enemies of discipline. So this is the format. Nobody and nothing will hold you back now. That's again a format. The 3 types of discipline. How to stop X verb, I don't know. give me 4 minutes and I'll fix your anxiety and stuff like that. So you will give them basically the format, and then you will also want to give them core topics that people are interested about. And how you find these core topics, again, you go to your bucket and see what people actually care about. The scariest level of discipline you ever seen. So people want to have super incredible next level Goku style discipline. So that's why they clicked on this video. And after that, AI will basically give you like 30 or 40 ideas, which are terrible, but after like 1 hour, maybe you will get like 10 good ideas and you can add them after that to your whole 100 list. Now, after you get to 100 ideas, you want to slim down first to 20 ideas, then to 10 ideas. And why? Because you want to filter down based on the total addressable market, as you can see here, and if you can make a good thumbnail for it, and also if you can make the video in the first place, or if you want to make the video in the first place. Because if you don't want to make a video, or if you can make a video, it just doesn't really matter because the video will suck anyway. Now, I also need to tell you what TAM is, or what now basically this is TAM. It's the average amount of views a topic usually gets. For example, this is about discipline, and you will see like this video got like 500k views almost. This one got like a million, 100k, and all of them are outliers. So it means like the total addressable market for discipline is actually really high, in the millions almost, if you really nail the packaging and the delivery of the video. So yeah, you will make the full list. You will say for each video how large is the total addressable market, and based on that you want to slim down based on all of these criteria. Of course, you can add more criteria here, it doesn't really matter, but you want to slim down from 100 to 10 ideas. Now, when you get to 10 ideas, this is what you want to do for the next month, I would say. You want to make those 10 videos, and after those 10 videos, you want to look at them, see what works, see what didn't work, the retention, maybe the editing style needs to change, the thumbnails didn't work, and stuff like that. But first, you have to make those 10 ideas obligatory. Now, good. Now we finish with ideation. This was like a rough idea of ideation. Now the next important thing that you should spend time on is the packaging, the title, and the thumbnail. Now this is by far what gets you 80% of the views. What I would recommend to do is get like 3 to 4 title variation for your core idea that you have in mind. See which one makes more sense, which one sounds the best, which one looks the best in the feed, and stuff like that. Also, you want to justify your idea in the first place. Make sure that it actually makes sense, I don't know, with the audience that you have. Do this. Also try to make different thumbnail variations for your idea. You don't want to just do 3 thumbnails where you just change the text at the top, or maybe the color of the head. You want 3 thumbnails with different settings, different color, different messages basically, and test them out to see which one performed the best. After you get like a clear result which one performed the best, you can rerun the test with the winning one and just changing the header if you want to do that. What I normally want to do and how I come up with killer thumbnails is by following this principle. Now, Paddy Galloway, which is Mr. Beast Strategies and one of the mentors that I had, and when I took his cohort in the past, basically told everybody that thumbnails are 80% psychology and 20% design, which makes a lot of sense. Now, what it means when I'm talking about 80% psychology. Now, you want to make the thumbnails stupid simple, because people, when they're on their phone, they scroll like this. They don't think, they just scroll, and something has to stop the click. That's the first thing. If your thumbnail is super cluttered with a lot of elements, I mean, for the brain to process all of those elements in 1 second, it would be impossible. So, yeah. Now the next thing would be to perfectly complement the title, which I will show you lower. You also want to make sense with the title. For example, if you make a video about discipline and in the thumbnail you show a fat guy scrolling on Netflix, at first glance it would not really make a lot of sense. People will actually see the thumbnail, then scroll down and see the title, and they get confused in their head. What the fuck does the thumbnail has to do with the title in this case? So, of course, if you don't really get that mini dopamine hit in your brain that makes everything click together, you don't really want to click on the video in the first place. And now the next thing that I want to make sure all my thumbnails have is to spark curiosity, fear, or desire. Now, with curiosity, you want to open loops in the thumbnail that will be answered in the video. With fear, again, showcase something that induces the idea of fear. And desire, for example, if you want to make a video about how to make $10,000 a day, put in the title $10,000 a day. That's the desire, that's the click. Now, here's basically an explanation how all of this works. This is a viral video that I made called How to Stay Calm in Any Confrontation, Miyamoto Musashi. It got like 2 million views 7 months ago. Now, how the thumbnail made perfect sense with the topic was by the following thing. Here, you can see there's a confrontation, a duel. Now, the dude has a katana, he's a samurai, meaning that subconsciously you think like, what the fuck, this is a video about samurais or duels or something like that. Then it also has text that tells you never fear confrontation. So your subconscious mind thinks, oh, this is not about them, it's about me. Cool. Now, you go to the title and you say, How to Stay Calm in Any Confrontation, Miyamoto Musashi. Now it makes a lot of sense because people understand that it's a confrontation here, but it also talks about me, meaning that the video is not just about samurai and bullshit like that. It's about more types of confrontation, like work confrontation, relationships and stuff like that. So they clicked on it because it was interesting. It perfectly matched the topic of the video and it was also eye-catching. So that's really the whole idea. You want to stop the click. People are like this on the phones, so you want to make them stop and look at your design. Now you want to have minimal elements, like here you have 2 focal points, 1 and 2. Usually 3 would be the max. I would go with 2 if you can. You want to make it stupid simple. You don't want to complicate stuff. You don't want to make things philosophical. You don't want to add anything that would make the people have to analyze your thumbnail. You can spend 3 hours on the thumbnail, it doesn't matter, but the viewer will spend 1 second max. So you have to make it stupid easy again. Now, and the last thing, it has to complement the title, which is basically what I told you. Now, how to find the thumbnails is similar to the ideation process. It's actually the same thing, just for thumbnails. You can find them from your competitors or other niches. Now, what I also suggest you to do is take different elements from the thumbnail. If you like a thumbnail background from one competitor, take the thumbnail. If you like some font, take the font and combine them together to make something unique. Basically, just read the book How to Steal Like an Artist and you get the full idea. Now, again, I have 3 thumbnails to test for each upload, and like I told you, different formats so you can see which colors, fonts, design works the best with your audience or with the video. Don't make all 3 variations stupid similar, it makes no sense, because if your initial concept is terrible, a tiny little difference in the next thumbnail would make no difference and your CTR will still drop. Of course, I can go into depth much more when it comes to titles, but for this video, it's just like to show you what you're missing. Now, after you're done with ideation, after you're done with title and thumbnail, you go to the next thing, which is basically the scripting and the hook of your video. First, what you kind of want to do is to have a rough skeleton about what your video will be about. Here's a look of what the skeleton looked for one of my channels. Now, it's a systematic progression, meaning it's like a puzzle list where the viewer will get the full picture at the end by watching every single part. So that's really the format that I went with my educational type content. Now you can see here is book 1 to book 2. Every puzzle piece, it's a book, and at the end you have the full integration where you understand how each book changes your life. Now here are all the formats that I used on my channels. Puzzle list format is the one that I just explained. Hero journey is the one that you know from all of the movies that you watched when you were a kid. Basically, you have a dude that wants to do something. He faces an obstacle. He then goes back to rethink his approach, and then he tackles again the new problem, and he either succeeds in his journey, or if he doesn't succeed, he becomes a new person, he's changed. That's basically the hero journey. Now, progression is usually what you see at Mr. Beast, like $1 versus $1 million gym or bullshit like that. So it's a clear progression, you know, from just watching the title, you know what the video will be about. And the challenges are again like challenges, like it's pretty simple. At the start of the video, you explain the challenge, and people will want to watch by the end of the video to see if you actually succeeded or not. Of course, there are a lot of other formats that you can use, but these ones are stupid simple and they worked for me in the past, so I would just suggest you to use them. Next, here are the hooks, and basically the difference between a viral video and a video that gets 400 views is the idea, the packaging, and the hook. That's 90% of the things that would make the video go viral. If you mess up the hook, people will not care about the video at all. Like, you can make the best editing, the best script, the best effects. You can put like $10 million in making the video, but if you mess up the hook, it doesn't matter. C'est la vie. Now, again, here are like 4 types of hooks that I used. You can take a screenshot or just pause the video and see what makes sense with your channel. It's pretty simple: statement, intrigue, pose a question, promise the answer in the video, analog story, bring it to relevance, immediate action, context afterwards. You will recognize all of these formats in your favorite YouTuber videos at a glance, most likely. What you have to do for the rest of the video is not just focus entirely on the hook and ignore basically the pacing, the storytelling, and also the editing on the rest of the video, but you can slow it down and you can bring it up again later on and stuff like that. You don't want to be focusing all of your efforts into the hook and ignoring the rest. So here's what I try to do for my editing and also for my script writing. I want to remove all the fluff, basically no fluff at all. I cut all the boring parts when it comes to editing. So if something in editing doesn't add any value, or if I'm yapping too much, or if what it's saying there is repeated in other parts, just cut it out. Deliver and over deliver if you can. So if you promise, like Mr. B does, recently he made the video on like the strongest man versus 100 kids. You click the video expecting the video to just be about that, but after the hook you see that there's like 7 other challenges in the video, and that challenge from the thumbnail was actually at the end. So that's really an over deliver stuff. Now you also want to follow the structure that you promise in the hook. Usually in the hook you also want to tell people how the video will be going. And if I tell you in the hook that I will give you 4 parts in this video and I will explain each part, if I go past 4 parts, people will say, like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, what? You said 4 parts, why there's 8 now? So you have to follow this, because the most important thing when it comes to YouTube is actually viewer satisfaction. If you give people what they want and what they clicked on in the first place, guess what? The algorithm will be happy and you will get views, because that's really how it works. It's not anything secret or anything mumbo jumbo. Now, that would be like the full concept that you should focus on and the system that you should focus on, instead of just wasting time on editing, because editing at the end of the day will not give you views. What will give you views will be the idea, the packaging, and the hook, and also smooth editing to the rest of the video. Now, if you also want to learn more, I made a waiting list where you can get a lot of this stuff for free, of course. Now, you can find that in the link in the description, in the pinned comment, and I will see you there. C'est la vie.